Welcome to Virtual Assistants, the Agency Growth Machine podcast. Take your digital marketing agency to the next level as we share secrets, strategies, and client success stories. Step back from the day-to-day of your agency and activate massive growth using virtual assistants. And now your host, Azar Siddiqui.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of our podcast. Today, my guest is Nicholas Spindle. Nicholas is joining us from the East Coast today. He's based out of the amazing Las Vegas, Nevada, and I think it's a great story from Nicholas' side. He's into a SaaS based application for food truckers, and we'll find out how Nicholas got started, what's the background, where this idea came from, and what he's doing to attract his target audience, close the deals, and make sure that he retains them for as long as possible. Welcome to the show, Nicholas.
Thank you, Azar. We're happy to be here.
Awesome, man. So my first question to you, Nicholas, is what's your background? We try to do some research on our guests, and you've been our client for some time too now. But there's not a lot of information I could get my hands on. So maybe walk us through before WTF, which is the short for your brand, where the food truck is, which is an application on both Google and Apple platforms for food truckers, where you can just download it as a user and you can go and find the nearest food truck to you. So we'll get to that amazing app, but tell me about where you're coming from, where you're born and raised, and let's take it from there.
Sure, love to. Well, I'm actually born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana, down south. End up in Las Vegas in the restaurant industry. I operated a couple of restaurants, both big and small, corporate and one-offs, on the Las Vegas Strip for about 10, 12 years or so, back and forth from restaurant to restaurant. And it was about time to get out of that, working for other people. So I was planning myself to open up a food truck. It's the easiest way to get into the restaurant industry without a really big investment and without some really good connections. So, me and one of my best friends here, he's an executive chef, we were getting into the food truck industry ourselves and in researching how do we find our competitors, what are they selling, what are the prices, what are their best, feedback and advice to us starting in the food truck industry. We just realized it's near impossible to find food trucks when you want one. Most customers just happen upon one. You're driving around or somebody tells you, or you happen to be at a nearby store and you see one right there also. And I thought, that's not really the way that this industry should be going. Like, you should be able to search for a food truck and find one just like you can search for a restaurant. Yeah. So I end up right here in the software world, building out apps to help people make those connections.
No, wow, that's a great story, man. So you just went past that really fast, but growing up in New Orleans, which is it's a legend of a town I hear in its own, and then moving to Vegas to work at the Strip for 10 to 14 years doing the grind. Is that correct? Yep. So you just went past that grind part really fast, but those are the common things that I've seen in a lot of our guests at our show, that they have this period of the grind where within the industry that they're in, or close to it, they're crafting their skills and they're coming up with these, and how they're doing it is just by putting their head down and getting to work the good old-fashioned way. So that's amazing. And then out of curiosity and a natural instinct, I think where the food truck is came about. So that's great. And I can relate to the business you're in right now, because we were just talking about me being in quarantine in Calgary, Canada right now. And my life is being spent on these apps right now to order food and groceries and every single thing. So, the WTF would be a great addition to my app arsenal right now, and especially in these times, right, where it's so much uncertainty. You need access to these things, man. Otherwise, the complete joy is taken out of life right now. So, anyways, So that's great. So you came about, so you didn't have any coding experience or anything like that. How did you decide to, start coding the application, or did you had to build out a team first? How did that process go about?
Yeah, I mean, back in my high school days, I had a little access to HTML, but that's all I know about coding. That's still almost all I know about coding. A couple of words here and there, like APIs and whatnot. But yeah, so I sourced out a team that has built our apps. This is the second team that we're on right now. They've been with us for a number of years. They built out some really great features. They've improved the app dramatically. And we put a lot of faith in them. I still have no idea what I'm doing. If you said, here's the code, take over, Nick, I would not know what to do.
You and I both, again, Nick, because I'm a 13-year-old digital marketing agency veteran. My agency is running still to date in Calgary. And, the most I know is the lingo. Coding, I was never good at, but I've been able to, get past it without having to do most of this stuff by myself, by trusting and relying on people, building them around us on project basis. So did you find these people like locally to Vegas, or are these people based in the US, or did you use a platform like Upwork or Fiverr or anything like that?
So they're actually based overseas in India, and we found them. I just started looking around at different apps that had features that were similar to ours in different industries, checking out who built those apps, reaching out to the owners or operators of those businesses and asking if they could refer people. And then we end up with the team that we're with right now. We do use Upwork. It's primarily for billing and time tracking. That's just their preference. But yeah, I mean, they're a great team. We probably utilize anywhere from 5 to 10 of their team or employees or developers at any different time.
Wow. All right. So this all started, you got to the idea of WTF. This is about what, 4 years back or 5 years ago?
Yeah, exactly. So in 2017, I'd say September-ish, about 2017, I decided we weren't going to go through with the food truck, and instead we were going to do this app to really connect all the food trucks, the whole industry. Took about 6 months to get ready to launch. And then at the end of April in 2018, we launched, put it out there. We were just focused on the Las Vegas market for a while, getting feedback, making iterations and improvements to the app. And then we started expanding to a couple of different small markets. This year, we were able to get some angel investor funding, and through some crowdfunding equity, we raised some funds, and we launched it. We pretty much just said, you know what, everybody in the U.S., let's go for it. We'll start investing, making sure that it works at a much higher level, and we can invest in growth across the U.S.
Nice, man. That's awesome. That was going to be my next question. So you just answered that for us. So that's amazing. So now you guys are rolled out across the U.S.?
Yeah, we're rolling out across the U.S. We've got food trucks in pretty much every state. We have food trucks in Alaska and Hawaii using it. I think we might even have some in Puerto Rico. But you can find them in almost every state, probably not every city.
What about in Canada? Are you guys up in Canada yet?
It'll be one of our next goals. So
it's
now,
a good market.
For mobile ordering, we integrate with Square, and Square is in Canada. So it makes it really easy for us to just expand into there once we really have our, I'd say, national scaling processes, down and ready to go. Canada's next.
Yeah. No, the food trucks are pretty good over here as well. It's up and coming trend, and the market is pretty good. There might be some local wins for you on this side as well, because they have a good workforce on this side as well, which is a little bit cheaper on the US dollar side too. So there's some things definitely there. So that's great, man. What a journey. I wish you great luck. I'm definitely going to check out your app. I know that we have a marketing assistant working with you, and she's been kind of focused on the growth side for you. So now what we're going to do, Nicholas, is we're going to change some gears, and we're going to go into figuring out how you talked about building this amazing app, and you're really focused on that. most of the last 5 years went on making sure that your service is amazing, which is the app. But now you're in that growth phase. You want to be able to start marketing, how you're doing your own marketing, and then how you're landing those new food trucks, make sure that they're coming in, or what the sales process is there, and then how you're retaining these people. So let's start out with your marketing. Like, what's the strategy there? How are you advertising to your target audience right now?
Yeah, so we're a two-sided marketplace, just like Uber and Lyft were when they started, well, still are. We need to acquire both food trucks as a supply and the customers, the end users, as a demand, so that we can fill both sides of that need. So really what we have been focused on is on adding food trucks to the platform. And what we're kind of switching into is just getting brand awareness out there for the end users, customers, the foodies, so that they know that our app exists, so that they can download the app, find the food truck, and then kind of continue that cycle. And I'm sure we'll go back and forth from a focus on the vendors back to the customers and back and forth over time. Right now, it's all on customers and app downloads.
So, okay. And are you guys running some paid ad campaigns for that, or is that word of mouth? How's that working?
Yeah, we're just getting into paid campaigns, all on customer app downloads. We're using mostly social media for that. Yeah, just getting into it.
Yeah, I think Facebook is a great tool for that. I'm sure you guys are already on that. Google works really well as well, retargeting and things like that. But sure, you guys are doing a great job there. And then also on the food truck side, do you guys have any active campaigns running on that side, or is it just on end user right now?
Right now, it's just the end users. We're really trying to nail down our end user process, and then we're going to turn back on what we were using for the vendors. I feel like we already have that down. Of course, there's always improvements to be made, but we're just going to flip the switch back on for that when we kind of have both sides worked out and let them both run.
Makes sense. No, that's awesome, man. So now you got this marketing engine starting to work, and you're starting to kind of now also focus on the end users. You already have some of your food truck attracting methods down packed. How are you? Is there a sales process that you guys have in place right now? What's going on the sales side, where when you need to get somebody to sign on the dotted line?
Yeah, so really the sales side is on the vendors, right? Getting the food trucks to sign up. So we get them through our ads and just through brand awareness, social media presence, our website, just having them find us, and participation, I'd say organic participation in like chat groups and Facebook groups and whatnot. Once they're in, really the sales side starts. We're not trying to sell them anything, but making sure that they can log into the app, know how to use the app, connect for mobile ordering, or we do offer upgraded packages. So sometimes there's that like, hey, what more do you want out of our platform? What else can we offer you? So really a lot of our focus right now too is on those outbound calls after a vendor signs up, to really onboard them, to make sure that in like 2-3 days, like they're in and they're using it and really active.
Okay, and then these outbound calls that you guys are making, that's part of your sales department, and are these guys based out of the States, or are they also based outside of the States? How is that set up?
That's actually with RepStack. So we're using RepStack to make those outbound calls. We've only recently started doing those calls, and after we got our first employee through RepStack on the marketing side, I wanted to give the sales side a try with RepStack. So we did that. It's been about a month and a half now that we've been using the RepStack outbound sales assistant, and it's really been great. I mean, I knew that is what we were missing. In the past, that landed on my shoulders, and that's not really what I enjoy doing, or
yeah, you and me both, man. And I think there's another connection there, Nicholas. There, the reason that a client would work really well with us is that you have to start out with the marketing side, because that's what really gets all the action going, all people coming in pre-positioned to buy from you or become your clients, or use your apps. And once you have those structures ready, which is the basics of marketing, then you bring on this sales assistant on your side. Now you already have a playground, I like to call it, of these hot and warm leads, people you guys may have who may have downloaded something from you but may not have been maybe using your app right now actively or something like that. Now it's a playground for this person, and a very good playground to come in and start executing for you and making sure that they convert these soft leads or warm leads into hot leads, or even turn them into customers and things like that. So gone are the days of putting a salesperson in a seat and asking them to, here's a list and go call him and do some magic, right? So
Yeah.
once that marketing engine is placed, this salesperson or the sales assistant comes in and they just start doing their job. And it makes it a lot easy for them as well, because they're not really cold calling anymore. They're actually getting in touch with people who have already communicated with you or showed some interest in the past, and now it's a lot easier for them to hit their targets. So that's amazing, man. So you have something like that that's building out. You set up the marketing first, now you're setting up the sales department, and boom boom. So, and on the last end of this is usually we talk about retention. So you have all these food trucks that are coming on your platform. What's the plan on making sure that these guys stay with you for as long as possible?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're going to keep adding more value add features. So a couple of big aspects in the food truck industry are kind of focused around scheduling. So regular spots and locations for a vendor to go to, and then catering, obviously, so that they can go out and deliver or serve at parties or events. So we're kind of adding new features to the app and to our software platform, our stack, to kind of constantly add more value. So right now we already help them get more customers, bring back their existing customers, all for mobile ordering, deals, daily specials, promoting events, all that stuff. We do support on the back end, but now we're going to add in scheduling availability, catering leads. We're going to just keep building it out so that eventually we're the center and everything that, we're the universe for food trucks. And there's no real reason for them to go looking anywhere else.
Nice, man. I think that's a perfect track for you guys. And then is there a plan on maybe setting up a support department or account managers who would make sure that these guys are taken care of in real-time basis or anything like that? Or do you guys already have that in place right now? Or is that you kind of filling in that shoes right now?
Yeah, we don't have that in place. I think we're going to continue using like our outbound sales person once they kind of develop those relationships with the new lead. Once they're able to talk to them, give them the tour, we kind of give them that lead. That's theirs, ownership. Call them back every 3 to 6 months, make sure they don't have any questions. For all the support, it comes to me. If they need a really detailed tour, if they need like hands-on help, if they need somebody to help them figure out how to download an app, it falls on me.
All right, man. I think you're going to be eventually, hopefully, once everything starts putting in place for you guys, there's going to be a threshold that you're going to cross, and you're going to be like, I need a buffer between me and the clients. We love the clients, but and that's what we've seen, right? As on our side, we're working with just over 100 clients right now. And what's happening on their side is that we've seen a lot of these trajectories on our client side where, they start building out their own marketing engines. They got these sales teams in place. And the next step usually is for them to have an account management team in place whose sole purpose is to make sure that the clients stay with the company for as long as possible. And these guys end up becoming, I've been there, done that, like clients calling me, I'm out shopping with the wife, and clients calling me, and it completely brings down the mood. But now we're at a place where we have these account managers in place who are making sure that the clients are taken care of at all times, and it's a buffer in between the owner who needs to continue to think about growth and making sure the clients are happy, all of them, not just one, and not drop everything that we're doing and just moving to that, taking care of that one client. So that's an amazing journey, man. We're gonna put down your link for the downloads within our podcast as well. My last question before I let you go, Nicholas, is, you shared your journey of starting out and, being a part of the restaurant industry. What's the real why behind starting out the where the food truck app is? What's the why on the personal side there?
Yeah, I mean, we saw from the restaurants, we just saw that there was so much support and funding and available help and resources for restaurant owners and operators, especially on the bigger side. Well, on the food truck side, everybody's a one-off mom and pop. They don't have the resources to buy the software like this or build the software like this. They don't have the resources to send somebody out to training. They don't have trainers coming out. They just don't have all the available things that they need, education, physical, whatever it might be. They don't have all that. It's one or two people trying every day to make sure that they don't go underwater. So that's really, like, we wanted to kind of provide that as the backbone for the industry, help tens of thousands of food trucks learn quicker from other people's failures and other people's successes, and make sure that they're successful more in the long term, either as a food truck, if they want to move up into the restaurant industry, help them achieve their goals without, needing that corporate structure behind them.
That's beautiful, man. I love it. Like, there's a genuine interest to help out other people, and in turn, we all flourish, and
Yeah.
that's amazing. Thanks a lot for doing this, Nicholas. I really appreciate your time. This podcast will be up and running really soon. We'll share everything with you, and it was a great pleasure talking to you, man. I'm sure when I come down to Vegas or states, this is going to be a staple on my iPhone going forward.
Awesome. I hope so. Thank you so much for having us. Sorry.
Thanks a lot, Nicholas.
This has been The Virtual Assistant, the Agency Growth Machine podcast by Azar Siddiqui, co-founder at RepStack. If you liked today's episode, you can find more and subscribe at repstack.co.